We are going to talking about the custom transition. What is the custom transition? So for example, let me run this one first. So when you open the second project, we have two view controller. The first one and the second one, and when we click on the let's go, it will go to the second view controller. So for example, like this one. So what is this? What is transition? No, not push. Modally, right? So modally from the bottom to top. So and go back, same thing. It dismiss from the top to bottom. So what if we want to change to customize the transition? You want to do something crazy, something more fun with the transition, right? So let's get back to this one. We have two segue here. The first segue, if you see when I click on this segue, it highlight the let's go button, right? Meaning this segue I connect directly from let go to the view controller, the second view controller, and this one is from the whole view, right? When it's from the whole view, we need to call the perform segue with identifier, right? When I already connect that one to the button, then I don't need to call the perform segue with identifier, right? As soon as I click the button, it will trigger that segue and it will run. Okay, so here I also name the identifier for the second segue called second segue, right? So we do that one. We take a look on the first segue first. So if you click on this one, you see the kind of this segue is what the present module, right? And then the presentation is like we have something default like this. So I just quickly change something. Just for example, I say the partial curve. And then so ESCO only implement for you few custom transition. So I just use the partial curve, and then you see that, right? It's like you open a page of your book, right? Okay, but if you want to do something else, then you need to customize that one. And how can we customize that, right? Okay, so let's go back to the first view controller. Open this one, dismiss this one. Okay, so same thing here. As soon as you click on the let's go button, it will trigger the prepare for segue, right? Here is the moment you want to do everything you want here. First, some hint here. I say we need to set the transitioning delegate. Okay, so but let me get the net view controller first. How do we get this one? Net view controller will be the segue, right? Destination view controller, right? And we cast this one into the second view controller, right? And then we need to set some delegate. So it will be net view controller dot something delegate. Just type the say set the transitioning delegate. This is how we set the custom. We say, hey, don't do that. Let me do that. Okay, so we set the transitioning delegate, and all the time will be cell something like this, right? Remember, all the time we set the delegate to cell. Like for the table view delegate and like the scroll view, the search bar delegate, everything you set to cell, right? And then whatever we set the net view controller dot well the second one is what the more model model presentation style. Okay, so you need to set this one to custom, then you can customize. Okay, so two things you need to set. First will be the transitioning delegate, and then the uh, model presentation style. Okay, so we have some code here. Just remove this one first. I will try again on my own. So forget about this one. Okay, we can set the delegate to cell, but now let me try another class to handle everything about the transition. Right, so I create a class. Hey, this is not a good practice. Normally you should create another file and move that class to another file, but I just write it here. So I call this one is my animate. animator, and then this class is the subclass of the NS object, right? Okay, and I set this one, right? We have I set a new variable called animator is uh, instance of the my animator. So I set the delegate to the animator, right? So it will complain. We know that, right? It say this one. You cannot assign the value of this one to the UI view controller transitioning delegate. Then we know we need to edit here, right? UI view controller transitioning delegate, right? Okay, so it's happy here. Okay, but what else? What else we need to do? Remember, we need to implement some of the protocol for the uh, transitioning delegate, right? So we command and click on this one. We go here, we see the first two things. Animation controller for presented controller. And then animation controller for dismiss controller. So when you move from one view to another view, the current view we call the presented controller. No, sorry, the current view will be the one going to be dismissed, right? And the one going to be presenting will be the next one. Okay, so we want to implement the custom animation, custom transition for those two actions, right? When you go from first to second, and also when you go back from second to first, right? So we should copy this first two, go back to the first view controller, and I did something wrong.
Copy the interaction.
Which one? The presented.
Yeah.
This one and this one.
Yeah.
Right? No. Okay, so I put it here. So remove this thing, remove this thing, right? So again, it will complain, right? It asks me to return this one. I don't have anything to return now, so I just say return cell. I return my cell. Same thing. And but then my cell is not a subclass of this type, right? So I will put this one here as well. Okay. Right. So I make my cell here an instance of the UI view controller animated transitioning. But when we put it here, so it's complain again. So we click on that one and say it does not conform with this protocol, meaning that this one it requires some required protocol, but we haven't implemented that one. Right, then again we click on this one. So we see here it had 3 protocol, 2 of them is required. Right, okay, so we copy this one, go back to the first view controller, move it here. Okay, so the first one, what's that? Duration. So meaning like how long you want this transition to be happening, right? So for example, I say I return like 1 second or something, but later we will reuse this one a lot. So I create a constant here. So I say duration is ns time interval, and I set this one to 1. Okay, so I can return the duration here. Okay, right. The second one. So we say, what does it say here? This method can be only a knob. Knob means something new. If the transition is interactive. We don't have any interactive here. Interactive meaning that you interact with the view to make it change. For example, if you you notice the setting page of the iPhone, like you don't need to click on back, but when you swipe from the this one is right, the left to the right, it can also go back, right? It has the back button there, but you don't need to click on back. You just swipe, and it can also go back. That's what we call interaction. and that will be the interactive transition. We learn about that next, but for now it's not the interactive, right? So this can be new if this one is interactive, but it's not interactive, right? So we need to return something here, right? So the animate transition. So what do we want to do in this one? Let me have something. We create a new parameter e presenting. Is one is pooling. Okay, so I made it phone. Okay, so when is we do the animation for this one, let's say print animating, no, say presenting, and let's set the e presenting, no, e presenting equal to true. Same thing here, I print this missing, and then e presenting equal to 4, right? Okay, so we need to do something here. What happening?
You should go to saw.
Okay, bye. Okay, so now what do we do here? So here we learn something about the in last class we learned about the container view. Container view means the whole view that contain everything inside. So let's get the container view. This one equal to transition content dot container view. Okay, so the context is what context is something like it hold everything within that transition. It handling that transition, and it have the in one transition what does have. It had the from view controller, and it had the destination view controller, right? The source and the destination. So we don't call that one, but we call from let from view controller, and then we get this one from transitioning context dot value view controller for key, and then it had a constant here for this key, and the key is UI transition context to from view controller key. Okay, so very long one. Good luck try to look in for that one. Actually, Esco is very smart now. It's auto complete everything. You just need to remember a few things. Then, for example, let two view controller, and then we get the transitioning context, and then we get the view controller for key, right? And now we do the same thing. We need to get the two view controller, right? So you just need to remember that you need something like two view controller. See, you don't need to remember the whole thing. You need to get something like the two view controller key. Right? We had a from here, we had a two here, so you're able to get this one, right? So because I know that I only have the container view, I only have the from and the two, so I said that I'm only have that one, so just cast it for me. Okay, so if this is where we customize everything. So if e presenting, okay, so here we say print print, what do we print here? Animating for presenting, right? And then else will be animating for a this missing. Okay, so we do this one first. What do we want to do with this one? We had the from view controller, meaning the first view controller. We want to move to the second view controller, right? So let's apply some of the animation we learned last week. Okay, so let's say I set the two view controller dot alpha dot view dot alpha, right, go to 0. So meaning that I made that one transparent. Okay, and then we have something whatever, UI view dot animate with which one? The easier one first. Okay.
Yeah, duration.
This one. I want the completion block. Okay, duration is we put in the duration. Animation we want to do something here. So it will be cell dot to view controller dot view dot L to one. What happening? Okay, so the completion this one I wait. Oh, this is not a block, so we don't need a cell. So this one, this parameter I don't care, so just let it like underscore. Here we have one thing called transition. What does cell dot int? No, it's not interactive. Transition complete something. Transition. What is it? Transition contact. So no cell here. Transition contact. Okay, then what? We have something, yeah, complete transition. Okay, here I say that hey, I already complete my transition. Right, this is you tell the Xcode that I'm already complete the transition. So I put here true. Okay. Easy?
No.
No. I told you it's blow your mind. So let's try this one first. I haven't do anything on the container view.
Yeah.
No, actually I need to add the two view controller to the container view, right? So container view dot add sub view, and then we will add the two view controller. No, at the end. Is it? Yeah, it should be add here. So it's not there. We need to add it in. The container right now it should have the from view controller. It doesn't have the to view controller. We need to manually add it in, right? But now I add it, but I set the alpha is 0, meaning I made it transparent, and 1 second later I made it like show up, fade in. Okay, and then what do I have? To view controller dot view, right? Okay, that's right. I don't care the from view controller. I deal with it later. Okay, when we click on let go, see, so it's smoothly transition. We have a smooth transition from the first view controller to the second view controller by animate as one. So if it's based on your imagination. If you can imagine something crazy, something very cool, you can implement for that one. So let me add one more. I want it to do something cooler, so I say to view controller dot view dot scale dot transform. So what is the transform? What is the type of the transform? CGO5 transform. You should be familiar with this one, right? CGO5 transform max scale. Okay, I want to put this one at the beginning. It's very small, meaning just one tiny dot. Okay, 0.0%. Okay, and then I move it here and I made it to 1, right? 1. So it made it to full screen to 1. But this is not fun. Let's change to UI view. What fun? The anime. I like the damping. Okay, so again the duration here delay 0, damping I put 0.5, velocity 10, option, animation, and then this one, and same thing. So just move the curve from here to here and Okay, right, and let's try to run. So if you're able to combine all the animation thing together, and then you can make a very cool thing. Ooh, see, so it's like it zoom in and boom in your face, it's smaller. Okay, so but go back, it doesn't work. Why?
can set it.
We haven't do anything for the dismissing, right? Okay, so let's do something for dismissing. Here, right? Dismissing. So what do we want to do with dismissing?
We change the alpha of the two controller to be 0 and then change back the form controller to be 1 again.
Okay, so at first it will be the 1, right? But do we need to set here? By default it should be 1, right?
Yeah.
By default it's full screen already, it should be 1. Right, so we don't need to set this one, but what we want to do is, and now when you go back from the second view controller to first view controller, which one is the from, which one is to?
The 2 now in the form and the form now is 2.
Like it reverse way already,
Yeah.
right? So for now the from view controller will be the second view controller, and we go back to this one, right? So we want to remove the second view controller, right? So we will need to deal with the from. Confusing?
No.
Understand, right? Now the from view controller will be the second one. So we need to do the animation with this one. Right, so this one I set, I don't need to set the scale, I just say UI view dot animate with dampen, it is this one. Okay, so again the duration, delay 0 and dampen 0.5, then option no, animation. Okay, so this one same thing. So I also say that, hey, I already completed transition. So what do we want to do here? We to make the from view controller dot
Alpha. View.
alpha, and we set the transform first equal to what CG of file transform, same thing here. So I want to make it 0 0 again. Okay, and when it's completely, we want to remove container view dot, no, it's not this one. We should say when we remove it will be from view controller dot remove dot view dot remove from super view. Okay, right, so let's run it. Boom, it go like this, and then we go back. See, so that's how you do the custom transition.
So
Right.
all the time the second view is appear, the first view controller still appear.
No, it actually trigger the segue.
But
It now it show the second view, and the first view only put to the back. It's still there, but it in the back. Right? It did the same thing with when you do the segue. You click on a button, it moves to the next view controller. It actually just put the next view controller on top of the first view controller. The first view controller is still there.
but it will appear. In the last cycle, it still will appear.
Yep, it still appear.
So it's not run to the.
Yeah, if in the second view controller you have something like view will appear here, view will appear. So it will also go to this one.
But for the first view controller, will disappear. It will not run to this one.
This one view,
First view, yes. And you call the function will disappear or
which one? The view did this one,
disappear.
Will disappear. Will disappear.
this one.
Will disappear.
No, it's not disappear. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there.
Is it affect to the?
No, it's the same. It's the same with what you have learned before.
So it's
It
just
just
like,
you just change the way you do the transition.
when you call the method to remove from the super view,
Mm.
What does that mean? Does it mean that it
Yeah, because you want to handle that one. When you dismiss the second view controller, you need to manually remove that one.
yeah,
Because now you are the one to control everything.
you remove it from the screen or
Yeah, remove from the screen.
yeah. So but the view control is still there, and when you call it back, it's not gonna create a new control.
No.
So
Okay.
if it disappear, it's
Mm.
still not relocate any memory, but
It's still there. It's not disappear. So the memory is still there. It's still using.
so it will cost more memory than the
No, it's not more. It's actually the same with what you had learned. For example, like before you had the first view controller here, and then you click something, the second view controller come and on top. So at that time you had two view controller.
yes.
When you dismiss this one gone. You only one left. The same thing here. What you just do is you just do the customize for the way you display this one. You display the second one.
So in the previous way, in the old way,
Mm.
it also didn't run to jump to the this appear.
Yep, correct. The first view controller will be always there. No way you can dismiss this one unless you close your app. Okay. Okay, so we still have 15 minutes to cover the last one. This one is more fun. So when you go back to the storyboard, I have binge the binge gesture here. Right, so I add the binge gesture on the first view controller, on the full view controller. So and then we have some code here for the binge. So what do we do with this one? So if state, what if sender, no. So let's state, go to sender dot state, right? And then if state, go to what began. Okay, and then if state, you go to dot gen, right? And then the last one will be if state, you go to end it, right? Okay, so this basically the code we write every time we have something like binge. So what we want to do here is, for example, like this one. What we want to do is we zoom. When we zoom like this one, it will show the second view controller. Right. So how do we do that one? So first that's one is the interaction, right? So now we need to set the interaction. So I set another variable here. So call that one var interactive. Is it correct? Interactive. Okay. Okay, so the interactive only trigger when we have when we run the second segue, right? I don't want to apply that one on the first segue. Go back to this one. The first segue is, so this is the first segue. When I click on this one, it goes directly there. No interaction, no pinch, no swipe, no anything. But on this one, I name this one second segue, right? So if where is it? So it will be here. So I set it will be animator dot interactive. You go to segue. Is it segue dot identifier equal to second segue. Okay. So if this one is the second segue, then I set this one to true L4. Okay, so when we have it here, let's say when we start to binge, what do? We will call the second segue, right? So it will be perform segue with identifier, right? And this one will be the second segue, and the sender will be self. Okay, so as soon as I start to pinch, I want to see the second screen already, right? The next screen already, but it's very small. When I pinch in bigger, and then that's one will become bigger, right? So I perform the segue here. Then let's go back to where do we need that? We need to do that one. Oh, sorry, this one. We say change, right? And then we change. We need to when we zoom in, we need to show that one bigger, right? And then how do we do that one? So let's scale. So where the phone? For example, on the phone like this one, when you style your finger very close, two finger very close, and then you zoom. So how many times you think you can zoom?
You can.
Yeah, biggest, the largest number. How many times you think you can zoom in? As, yeah, zoom in. For example, the picture you had this picture here, you can zoom.
Set it like 3-4 times.
Yeah, it's like for example, this one is my two finger like 100 pixel.
Yeah.
If you zoom in this way, just this one is like 300 pixel only, then only maximum 3 times, right? If I zoom to this way, it may be bigger, but normally we zoom this way, right? Okay, so say let's file or something first. I will get the
Scale up, please.
where do what up sender dot scale, right? And we need to set the uh, percentage. The percentage is scale -1, and then also I say I can zoom maximum 5 times. So this is how you want to set the percentage. From here will be 0%. I zoom to maximum. It will zoom my second view controller to 100%. Okay, so that's how we set the percentage, and then we will set the animator. Okay, so we have something here called percentage interactive. No, we haven't set that one. And wait here. Okay, so set another one. So interactive transition is the type UI percent driven UI percent driven. Okay, this one. Oh, very long name. Okay, so I set another one called the UI percent driven interactive transition. Is it correct? Yeah, so I go back to here. I set the percentage for this one, and then I set this one. No. Then dot update. Okay. And percentage here. Okay. So meaning that I save this one. Hey, I already complete like 10% of my transition when I zoom. Right. If I zoom in smaller, it will update the number smaller. So and I say again, hey, update the number for me. I just finish like 10%, like something like that. Okay, and then here when we end, we want to save animator dot interactive transition and dot finish. Okay, so we say, hey, I'm finished my 100%, or sometimes even it's not 100%. Sometimes you don't need to zoom all the time, all the way out to complete that one, right? You just zoom halfway and you release this one, so boom, it show the second view for you, right? So is it am I missing anything? Okay, so let no, it should not. We still missing something. So let me see. Cái chỗ nào return là new inter. What does mean? Oh, sorry. I do the example before. Just remove this one. Go back to the first view controller. Okay. Is it enough? Okay, so I start to pinch. Whoa, too fast, right?
Make it 5 times.
It's too fast, but it's crash. But we need to make it slower. I'm
Scaling.
this scale too big. Let me see what did I do before. No, this one. Oh. Still sit before, but I remember I'm missing something. If we go back to this one, remember I before I wrongly copy one thing, the interaction controller for presentation. So I'm missing this one. Need to copy this one. Go back to the first view controller, and then where do I put it? Here, right? So this one, it need to return the UI view controller interactive transitioning, right? Which is the so if e interactive, then I can return the interactive transition. L no need L, just return new. Which one? So I set this one to what? Okay, this one, right? So I initialize this one and I return this one. Okay, so if I option click on this one, I zoom. See, so it's start to see the second view controller, right? And when I release my finger, it zoom in, right? But then what happened if, for example, what happened if halfway you change your mind? You don't want to open that one, right? You zoom in like this, hey, don't open that one. You zoom back, right? So if how can you check if that one is zoom in or zoom out? Yes, correct. Then we check the sender dot velocity is less than 0, meaning you zoom in, right? If you zoom in, then don't do that one. Okay, so if you zoom in, L. So zoom in, you say you cancel that one, right? Dot cancel. Okay, right. So if I zoom in, then cancel. Don't do that. Let's run again to see. Okay, so I zoom, right? Halfway, I change my mind. I don't want to open that one anymore. So I zoom in and I release. So it's gone. It disappeared. It not show it. Okay, that's also a tip when you want to do, for example, when you want to do something like you swipe from this side, and this it will display the next one. And then if you swipe, like for example, you set a certain threshold, like if you swipe more than 200 pixels, and then you release, then you show. If you just swipe a little bit like 100 pixels, and then you release, it should go back. Don't show the next one. So some of the tips for okay. So let's see this one. Now I cannot click on let's go. What happened?
It's not. No.
So notice here, as soon as I start to pinch, it already performed this segue. I just cancel the transition, but this segue already performed, meaning the second view controller already there. It's already initialized, already show up, but it already allocated memory for that one. But just the thing that we cancel the transitioning, but it's still there. So we need to do one more action here. Okay, so in the completion block, should it complete or not? If we say this one is not complete, then we can remove that one. So here the thing is we say if is interactive, right? If this one is the interactive transitioning, then you will check if the where that the transition content dot cancel, something like this one. Yeah, transition will cancel,
Cancel it. Yeah.
right?
Just cancel it.
If it will cancel, then you update this one to be 4. Okay, else if that's the one to true, right? And what does it say? Yeah, cell. Yeah, and then if else, so in this case, if just a normal click on the let's go button, then if always when you click on the let's go button, it's always able to perform that transition, right? So it's on the time you set that to true, but just you need to check in the case of that's one is interactive, and if halfway you change your mind, you release your finger, and it's so let's see, right? So I zoom in, release, so I go back, I can click on let go. Okay, I go back and then I zoom in and I release, so it disappear, right? Oh, I forgot one thing. Actually no.
Can you press go back?
Yep, it still work. No, normally no, that's enough. We don't need to, because that view only dismiss. That view is only like we cancel the transition, so that's view gone already. We just need to update the transition content that the condition will cancel, right? In the binge, we just say I want to cancel that one, but then we didn't update the context. The container is the one, again the container is the one to hold everything. The container view, the view controller, the from view controller and the to view controller, and what the transition. How do we want to do that transition? Okay, so that's some of the example. How do we want to do the custom transition, right? So if it's on the way up to your imagination, if you can think anything cool, you can implement that one in your final project. People or like they don't want to see like the thing like just show from bottom to top or from left to right, something very tedious. Want something cool. Okay.
Can we catch some interaction on the screen?